Hello and welcome everybody. This is Sergio. Welcome to the next video recap lecture titled Diving into Your AdWords Account. I'm going to go ahead and show you the ins and outs of an AdWords interface, and I'm going to go ahead and dive into one of my accounts here because I have a multi-client account here, which you can apply for very easily. Just Google how to create a multi-client account, and it'll probably be the first link that shows up on AdWords, so that you can actually have multiple accounts with different websites being used for each one. I'm going to go ahead and dive into the one that I've been using here as the example for the written lecture that you hopefully just read, and kind of just do a demonstration here of what it is I covered with the video recap as I've been doing. So the first thing that we are going to go ahead and cover is the main menu bar here at the top. You may also notice this side menu here that pops up, which kind of shows you just the campaigns with some icons here that indicate what kind of campaign it is, which we went over. Magnifying glasses are search, tiles here, display ads, and the shopping tag is a shopping campaign. There are a few others, but that's all we're getting into for now here. And from the top left, what you'll see are the campaigns tabs, the ad group tabs, so on and so forth. The campaign tabs is pretty self-explanatory. Shows all of the different campaigns. You have the ability to choose from all or only the enabled ones or all but removed, and it'll go ahead and apply those changes as you toggle between the options. You have the ability to choose segments here to show day segments, week segments, whatever you want. To show you an example here, want to have the last 30 days and put segments. Let's just do a week segment, and then you can kind of see the week of, September 28th or the week of October 5th and the different stats for each one broken down by campaign. You can do the same thing on the ad groups tab to see the same type of data breakdown by ad group. Now, we'll go ahead and get rid of that, put none. You can choose to tinker with some of the other segmenting options here. The filter option is available pretty much on every tab here as well. You can create filters that are pretty great using a library of different things here. For example, if you want to only show campaigns that have a certain bid strategy or a certain conversion amount or conversion rate, or only look at campaigns with the certain set of words inside of the campaign name, for example, because oftentimes your campaign names, they have certain things in them like products or services that you offer, and you want to, if you have a lot of campaigns, filter through certain ones that only apply to one category or service type. So you can kind of use these filters with the campaign name to only show certain campaigns. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. Well, first show you, obviously you can choose the contains, the does not contain, is, or starts with option, so that you can have some flexibility with the way you set up your filters here. You can also add additional filters, compile many filters on top of one another. Keep in mind they'll execute as they're listed. So if you have a campaign name filter that's first, it's going to filter out all the campaigns with the rule that you set up, then execute the next rule. So anything that's filtered out by this one will not be affected by these second and third filter rules here. All right, you can save the filter as well and enter a name, and then access it in the future from the filters option here, which will show up here. And that's pretty much it for the filters. Let's see here. Going to the custom columns button, you can basically modify your columns, which are showing up on the table here. For example, we have conversion rate, view through rate, and labels. Maybe you don't want that. You feel like they're not necessary. You can, on the right here, you can see the active columns, and to the left, you have a library to add additional columns from different categories. So we can get rid of labels, for example, since I'm not using them, view through conversions as well, and then start to add different ones that you maybe want instead, like total cost. And that shows up as the last one. You could choose to put it right before conversions if you want, hit apply, and then right before conversions, as you can see, we have the total cost. So kind of one way to modify your columns. This is going to show you the linear graph, which you can use 2 data points on the graph right now. It's showing clicks as a default. You could change that to show, say, for example, average cost per click, and then conversion rate on a daily basis. You can change that to weekly, and kind of look at your linear graph, kind of like you do in Google Analytics from different ways here. The download button we went over in the previous lecture. You could set up your automatic reports, but essentially this is going to allow you to download your report in a couple different file formats here, and you can add some segments if you'd like, schedule some emails like we went over, and some advanced editing stuff that we're not going to get into. It's really not that useful unless you're dealing with humongoid campaigns and accounts, which most people buying this course are not. You could choose to save the report as well, and you will have that available the next time you go to your reporting section. The search bar here works just like the search bar on Google Analytics. You could, filter out basically things using the search bar by keywords. So if I put product specific, only the one that's labeled product specific actually shows up. Pretty self-explanatory. There is obviously certain restrictions in terms of what's going to be available throughout the different tabs that you click on, but as you start to click on these tabs towards the top, it's pretty self-explanatory. To see the ad groups that you've created, you click on the ad groups tab. You still have all of these options that you did in the campaigns tab, but now you're looking at the ad groups as the primary column here, and campaign that it belongs to is the second. So a couple of things change, but for the most part, it's very similar. You can either click on the respective ad groups here to drill down into those ad groups, and then you'll see the keywords within that ad group. So for example, we have the most popular one here is related to a specific model of power wheelchair. If we click into that Jazzy Select Elite Power Wheelchair group, you'll see all the keywords that are very relevant to that specific model of a power wheelchair, and the keyword data for each one over the last 30 days, as indicated here by the date range bar, which is there just like how it is in Google Analytics. And you have the ability to use segments, filters, modify your columns, download, show the linear graph, hide it, same as the ad groups in the campaign tab. As you can see, since I clicked on one of the ad groups, it automatically took me to the keywords tab, because that's basically what's the default view of an ad group, are the keywords. Now, since we're in an ad group right now that is called Jazzy Elite or Jazzy Select Elite Power Wheelchair within the product specific campaign, some of the tabs went away. For example, the campaigns tab, because we're a step lower on the tree there. If you want to go back to list all of the campaigns, you can click on all campaigns here in the breadcrumb title here, and you can see now we're back to the part of the account hierarchy where we can actually go back to campaigns. So again, if you wanted to click on one of these results of the campaigns to view what's inside of them, in this case ad groups, you click on it, and now you can see that there's 2 active ad groups. There are many more. Instead of putting all enabled, if we put all, you can see there are several that have been removed along the way, but toggling back to all enabled, we can see the 2 enabled ad groups. If we click on one of them, we could see the keywords within it, and you see this breadcrumb is now opening up. We could see the all online campaigns and which ad group we're actually in. Now, since we're in this particular ad group, we can start to look at the respective ads within the ad group. So here's the ad that is very relevant to the specific product which this ad group's all about. And as well as any settings for this particular ad group, which belongs to one specific campaign, which campaigns are accessible, or the settings are accessible at the campaign level, not the ad group level. So right now we're looking at the scooters and wheelchairs campaign, and there's another one called product specific. Since we're on the settings tab, I can kind of toggle between the 2 campaigns and look at the settings for each one, such as the campaign name, the type, what locations we're targeting or excluding, the language, the budget, the schedule, and all that good stuff, which we'll get into as we start to build. But right now I wanted to just give you kind of an overview of the account here and the layout. So the next thing I want to show you would be the shared library section, which is right here on the left. Here you can kind of see many different things that we will refer to in the later lectures, like where your audience lists are, if you're doing some remarketing, what your bid strategies are, if you're creating bid strategies that are a little bit more customized, what your budgets are that you can use to share across multiple campaigns instead of creating, a different budget for each one. Some business data, which we're not really going to touch on too much, but you can import business data from your CRMs. Campaign negative keywords, which are huge, which you should know what those are by now. Basically, the words that we're going to use to prevent ads from showing up, like free, do-it-yourself type keywords, are common negative keywords. And campaign placement exclusions would be to exclude certain websites so that your image ads don't show up. So that's what you would see in the shared library section. Let's go ahead and look at if we go back, we're not really going to look at too much of this right now. None of this stuff is really too crucial to learn. We'll kind of start to dissect every nook and cranny of the AdWords account as we go along into the next lectures. I think that for now, we've covered pretty much the most important parts of the Google AdWords interface. So as we go along into the next lectures, I'm going to start to dig into all the other areas that I haven't covered in this video lecture, so that it's not a 2-hour video lecture or more. So stay tuned until next time, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye now.